Hello beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel Soul Journey. My name is Beck or Anu Ani, the expansion doula, and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about how to have a balanced self-love practice. Now, as we all know, most of us are in the learning phase with this. We were never really taught how to love ourselves, so it's a little bit of trial and error, but I wanted to share with you what I've learned and what has helped me and what has really been hugely helpful for me since the new year. I just feel like I'm in a whole new level of being with myself and with my goals and my overall life. If you like this video, please hit subscribe and hit the like button and comment down below if it resonated with you or if you have other self-love practices you enjoy. And if you'd like to check out my other social media, the links to that are in the description down below. All right, let's off to the video.
The codes of light you carry inside anchor a new way of life. Heart-centered being, awareness and seeing. You are out on the
All right, so full disclosure, this video is extremely unplanned, and that is because of my self-love practice. So I have a list of videos I want to do. I've recently committed to doing 2 videos a week, one on Friday, one on Mondays. And I've really been enjoying it, but for some reason the last 2 days I have just not been feeling making a video, or at least one of the ones on my list. I'm trying to get a little more in depth with my videos, but I just didn't feel like I had the energy. And so I wanted to do something that was balanced, something that where I could feel good that I posted something and got it out, because that's been really feeling really good to me, but something that was also self-loving, that didn't have as much effort needing to be put in. And so this is where we landed, a video about self-love, because, well, things are always as they're supposed to be. So I wrote down a few things, some ideas I've had, and yeah, let me know if this helps you. These are just my personal experience. Everyone's a little different. Self-love is really about getting to know yourself and what's best for you. So everyone's going to be a little different, but these are some basic tools that you can maybe utilize. So the number one thing for self-love is not judging yourself. Now, I know that is a million times easier said than done, but it's really about perspective and just deciding that your needs are important and that your body will tell you exactly what you need. I often find the mind is very good at telling me what I should be doing, but the body is really good at telling me what I need. So what I have found is that I've just started to get into a space of, if I sleep in, I just go, okay, I needed extra sleep. That's just what I needed today, and that's okay. I don't need to judge it. It's just my natural rhythms. It's just tapping into what I need. Same with eating more in a day, or not eating so much in a day, or relaxing, or being like, you know what, I need to get a bunch of stuff done and that feels really good. And so just not judging what comes up for me each day. And this can be different every day, and that's why non-judgment is so important, because we're not robots. We're not, you know, we really can't put ourselves on a schedule that is so structured that there's no wiggle room. Things happen, and, you know, seasons are different, weather's different, energy levels are different. And so we need to start acknowledging that we are living, breathing, sentient beings that may need different things on different days. And if you can create a space where that is a little more pliable, that is going to be so, so beneficial to your overall well-being and health, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So non-judgment, I would say, is the number one. And again, it takes practice, and it's a mindset. You have to get into a space where you genuinely feel like you're honoring each part of yourself. So the next one is about being honest with yourself. A lot of times, and especially in society, there are different things that are seen as good needs and things that are seen as like, oh, you shouldn't need that, or, you know, that's not okay. And the next thing is about being honest about what you genuinely need. And that's going to be different for everyone. Society has created such a box around what is okay and what's not okay. And genuinely, this is just, you know, this doesn't matter. If you look at all different dog breeds as an example, each one needs different things, you know, different types of exercise, different types of interaction. Same with cats. That, like any other animal, we can see that there are different types of beings within a collective, and getting to know yourself and what you genuinely need and getting honest with yourself is hugely important. Now, this kind of goes into the aspect of the fractured pieces. If any of you follow Teal Swan, I highly recommend her video, book, The Anatomy of Loneliness. I mean, she has videos on it too. But basically, the concept is, as we grow up, there's different parts of us that we see as okay and different things we see as bad. That can be with, stuff we figured out ourselves or what someone else has told us. And essentially, the parts of us that we think are bad, we fracture apart and kind of stuff down into our subconscious. And so what those pieces need and the pieces of us that we identify with ourselves and what they need could be very, very different. And that is often why self-love practice can be so difficult, because I don't know about you, but it always feels like there's this kind of warring of like, I want to rest, I want to be productive, I need this, I need it. And it always feels like you're being pulled in two different directions. And that is the fractured pieces of yourself. So it's almost a little bit like multiple personality disorder, except they don't come up as different personalities. I mean, depending on how fractured you are, that can happen. But basically, there are all these different pieces of you that need different things because they're fractured. And so what's really important is about really tapping into yourself and figuring out what each piece of you needs. For instance, today, like I mentioned, there was a part of me that didn't want to do anything. It just wanted to not have to put in too much work and not too much effort. Just wanted to relax. Didn't mind doing a few things, but it really just wanted to be like, you know what? I don't want to feel like I have all this pressure on me. Then there was another piece of me that wanted to get this done. It feels super, super good to put out 2 videos a week. And so they were clashing. And so what I had to do is I was like, I need to find a middle ground that is going to honor both sides of this. I can't just ignore the one and just do, just go, 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 because that won't feel good. And honestly, I won't have a good video. And in the other direction, I will feel really not creative. I would feel very like, oh, I didn't do anything today. Like, I really love doing stuff. And so I need to find a space that would honor both. And again, like I said, it's this middle ground of doing a video that's much easier to do, a little more gentle. I didn't, change my outfit too much. I just, I relaxed. I did my hair. That's it. Really good middle ground. And now I'm really feeling like both pieces of me are being honored. And that's hugely, hugely important. So self-love is really about getting in tune with each piece and finding a space, not necessarily a middle ground where both are, giving up something, but a space each one feels honored in, and finding that beautiful marriage of those two pieces. So another part of my self-love practice that is really important, and one I'm really starting to really focus on, and also I'm trying to help a lot of my soul family with this concept, is allowing for yourself to have both yin and yang energies within your life. So masculine and feminine. So the masculine energy is forward, it's moving, it's straight lines, if you think of like the masculine energy. And then the feminine is very flow, it's very creative, it's I don't want to, stagnant's not the right word, but it can be kind of cloistered in an egg where the masculine is moving forward. And so as humans, because we have both of these energies within us, and everyone has a little bit of a different combination, but for a healthy balance, you want to honor both sides of that within yourself. A lot of people on this planet really honor one over the other. Sometimes it's because they identify with a certain gender. Sometimes it's because they feel like they have to be a certain way in the workplace or, at home. Whatever it is, they tend to honor one over the other. And it's really, really important to start getting in tune with the different aspects of yourself that have both of those energies, and really applying each one of those energies to different parts of your life, and honoring the moving forward, but then honoring the creative, relaxed, gentle energy as well. So in very simple terms, not too much work, not too much relaxation. And again, this is all going to be depending on the type of person you are and what feels good to you. Some people don't need to relax that much. They like to go, 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 and it feels so good. Other people need to be at a little slower pace. And this is where the non-judgment comes in, and honoring that this archetype of like the good human may or may not actually work for you. We all have different DNA. We all have different, in my opinion, different extraterrestrial seeding. We all have, a whole lot of different pieces, even different cultures, and that ancestral line are going to come with different kinds of energies. And so that combination, whether you believe it's cosmic or just on the planet, all these different pieces play into your energy. And so different people need different things, just like the dogs. You know, some dogs need to be super, super active. Some dogs don't. So you need to find out what's good for you so that you can really create a healthy balance of both of these energies. Now, one thing to note, that when you start your self-love practice, and if you are super out of balance with that, you may need to kind of compensate in the other direction for a minute. Now, you don't want to do this for too long because then you're going to get out of balance in the other way. But especially a lot of people with like fatigue, people who are often doing too much, they need to relax for a minute. The reason people have fatigue is basically you can be doing nothing, but if your brain's like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, your body reacts. Just like, you know, in sports, they say the same muscles fire when an athlete visualizes what he's doing versus actually being out on the field. It's the same thing. The body reacts the same way. So if you're constantly going over what you need to be doing, you're not actually relaxing. So if you're constantly in that mental state, to get into a balanced state of self-love, you might want to take a few days and just do nothing. Again, that non-judgment is super, super important, but just see it as like, this is what my health needs. This is what my body needs. You know, really show yourself why this is so important so that you can then move forward in the direction you want in a healthier way. You know, if our cups are drained to the bottom, we cannot, you know, do anything, you know, fully, because we're always going to be drained. So sometimes that refill for a few days is super, super important. And again, depending on who you are, that might be a day, that might be 3 days. Maybe you need to go on a 2-week vacation. You really just need to get clear on what you're going to need to get into that self-love balance again. It's really okay to honor what you want and desire and need. Our needs are there. You don't see deer or cats or dogs judging themselves based on their needs. They just do it. They lay down when they need to, they forage for food when they need to, and they go with their natural rhythm. So it's okay for you to do that as well. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, but the human part of us, that the human experience, which is why we're supposed to be here, has those needs for a reason. And we need to honor those. We can't just be all up here and just go, oh, like it's not important. It's like, no, we are having a human experience and it's very, very real to us right now. And we need to honor that system. And that is okay. You are allowed to have needs and, you know, have them be taken care of, whether it's, you know, asking someone for help or to do it for yourself. That's really, really important to acknowledge and honor. So as you start getting used to this idea that you need yin and yang energy, it's really also important to acknowledge that we have this in and out flow. Constantly we are breathing in, we are breathing out, there are tides. Life has a natural flow to it. And it's really important to understand that we have that flow too. Again, we're not robots. We're living, breathing, sentient beings that have seasons. I mean, any woman knows this, you know, any biological woman knows this, is that we have a menstrual cycle. We go through seasons emotionally and physically, and all humans do. I don't know how many men know this. I haven't really asked the entire collective, but even men have cycles in them physically. A lot of the men I know who are definitely tapped into themselves will say that they do go through an emotional cycle. I'd really like to see more study done on that because I think that'd be really, really important. Again, we kind of see men as robots a little bit. They can't feel, you know, they have to go, 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 but they do. They also have that feminine yin energy within them. It just is going to express a little differently. So everyone has cycles. So the honoring of the yin and yang, or feminine and masculine energies, is so important every single day, every single week, month, and year. So, you know, we have these like smaller and larger cycles that come in and out. So on a day-to-day basis, you know, we need to have relaxing time. We need to have more forward time. You know, there might be a week where we're more cloistered or, you know, being more active. Seasons, perfect example, you know, fall and winter are much more cloistered energies, whereas spring and summer we come out. And then there are certain years that are much more reflective, and then there's some years that are really expressive. So it's really important to, you know, follow along with those natural rhythms that we have and not, you know, determine ahead of time what those need to be, but just kind of tap in and go, okay, what is today? Is today a yin energy or is today a yang energy? And really honor that. And again, just kind of like today, because I would say this is definitely a yin day, a more feminine, more inward day, that you can still be productive. You can still do the things that feel good to you within your within your goals and things like that, but you can come at it with more of a yin energy or a yang energy, depending on what feels good to you. I do feel that there is this kind of balance even with how we can set up our lives. So it's really important to understand that life has flow and it can kind of do whatever it wants, but then also have, which is kind of a yin perspective, and then we can acknowledge that we also need a yang perspective or the masculine perspective and have a little order, have a little schedule. I think a lot of people either go one way and are like, I super scheduled, super like, or, you know, or they're just like, whatever happens. And honestly, if you want to be a balanced human being and really kind of work within both energies, you really can't be just one, because you're going to really get out of sync with the natural ebb and flow of nature. So I find that setting goals for ourselves and having a daily spiritual practice or a daily practice in general, that maybe it's meditation in the morning or yoga, and not judging if you don't get to something, but just having a practice that you generally do each day and then kind of feel it out as to which parts of that are going to feel healthiest each day. And also when you go to make a decision about if you're going to do something, you have your short-term goals for like the day and then your long-term goals of, you know, maybe a long-term project over the year. And every time you make a decision, you want to go, okay, is this honoring my short-term goal of maybe relaxing today? And is this also going to honor my long-term goal of what I want to create? So again, like going back to me making videos, long-term, I want to be productive and, you know, move forward and have videos every week. But then I also have the goal of not pushing myself so far that, you know, I tire myself out. So, you know, yesterday I was like, oh, I'll do a video, you know, day before, I'll feel really good. And I was just like, no, like I need to rest today. So I was like, all right, I just need to make sure I do it tomorrow. And then when I got to today, I was like, all right, I'm going to do something chill. So honoring the long-term goal and honoring the short-term goal of that self-love in the moment is super, super important. And just kind of like honoring the different pieces of yourself, honoring the different goals. So maybe you say, okay, long term, I know I'm going to wear myself out if I don't give myself a break. So today I'm going to honor the short-term goal of loving myself here in this moment, and I'm also honoring it because it's going to do good for my long-term goal. Or maybe someday you're just feeling a little lazy and you're like, but you're like, no, long-term, this isn't honoring my long-term goal. So you decide to get up and actually do something, and that's going to feel really good too. So again, every single day, it's about tapping into yourself and what goals you want to do, and then also what feels good. It's a marriage of those two pieces. Self-love is really about getting in tune with yourself and your personal rhythms. You can't have a self-love practice and ignore yourself. It just doesn't work. So for me, I always like to tell people that if you want to see what true self-love looks like, look at cats. And I think it's interesting kind of the stigma cats have about being kind of assholes or only caring about themselves, but honestly, cats are extremely loving and they're extremely affectionate, but they know where their boundaries are. They know what feels good to them and what doesn't, and they are okay with honoring that within themselves. And they are okay with napping when it feels good, and they're also willing to hunt and play and groom themselves and groom each other. And when you really look at a cat, they are very, very in flow with their desires. They're really bad at not getting what they want. And they don't have a judgment about it. And so obviously, like, it's important to acknowledge other people's needs. It's important to, you know, have that give and take. And I guess you could see that within cats too, is, you know, one of them will groom one and they'll groom the other. Like, that's good. But if you really kind of want, you know, to see it in the moment, look at cats. It's a really good kind of eye-opening of, wow, you know, that's what that looks like. I find that tapping into the feline energy and the feline council is a really great way to kind of tap into that energy within ourselves. We're not cats, depending on who you talk to, but it's a great energy to tap into. You could even look into Bast or Bastet and her energy and what she stands for, the Egyptian cat goddess, and just kind of look at it and just kind of get those concepts and just see what flows for you. But ultimately, self-love comes down to trusting that we create a reality and trusting that when we're in alignment with what feels good to us, in alignment in a higher vibrational, we're in alignment with our, you know, highest frequencies and our passions and our desires, and we honor our body and stay healthy emotionally, mentally, and physically, that the reality we will create will be in alignment and flow and bring us whatever we need. Most people don't love themselves because there's a belief that there's lack. If they take care of themselves too much, they won't have what they need. And ultimately, we need to trust that the universe will give us what we need, that the universe will reflect back to us that love. You know what they say is, the way to receive love is to love yourself, and then the universe will reflect that back to you through many, many facets, whether it's friends, family, a lover, lovers. The universe is our mirror, and when we hold a certain vibration within ourselves, that is what we receive. So if you love yourself and take care of your needs will also externally be taken care of. And what it comes down to is walking the walk instead of just talking the talk. We all talk about loving ourselves and creating our reality, but until we genuinely trust that experience of being in alignment with our joys, being in alignment with our passions and what feels good, it's really just all talk. And so self-love really is about trusting that our needs will be met as we meet our own needs. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please comment them down below in the description, and give this a like and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I do more spiritual, self-love, spirity videos on Monday, and then I do an energy reading for the collective each week on Fridays. So if you want to see any of those, definitely hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I make videos, because the algorithm doesn't like to show a lot of people videos. So definitely hit that bell if you want to see more videos of mine. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely check out my other links in the description. I have my Patreon if you want to support my channel. I have my Etsy shop if you want to get a personal reading with me or check out my other cool, fun items in my shop. And I have my other social media down there as well. So thank you so much. Many blessings. Namaste. And don't forget, it's all about the soul journey.